Hey everybody, welcome to shapes.io and click, there we go, game started. Okay, so here we are back again making this attempt and this time we did it. Kinda. Yeah, so this is kind of funny. Yeah, see, we're going through the motions here, which is great. Finally got it down, but here's the thing. We got the achievement, but I'm not sure we actually earned it. So full disclosure, I did the editing and everything on this video, and the game says we did it in between 26 and 27 minutes. And yet the video, after all the editing, taking out all the fluff and everything, is over 32 minutes long. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. The only thing I can think of is that in the process, when I was using this game and practicing and everything, and I got real close to the time, but and I had pretty good frame rates, but when I turned on OBS and ran the game at the same time, my frame rate in the game dropped to like 24 frames per second. I mean, it was pretty bad, more than half. I lost like half my frames. I shouldn't say lost half my frames, the frame rate just dropped. Now, I don't know what that does to the tick rate, but I can just tell you that I guess I'd still call it a win because the frame rate was so bad that it felt like I was dragging the mouse through molasses. I mean, it was like really bad. And I had to do several corrections like that. I just had to go back because I thought I clicked and dragged, but the computer didn't register the click, and then I had to go back and delete stuff because it just was not smooth. So in reality, I suppose if it all kind of evened out, and I think I would have at least done it in the time frame, in the 30-minute time frame. But I don't think I really earned a 26-minute achievement. But anyway, I'm sure I would have done it in under a half hour, I guess. But I got the achievement. You'll see at the end. But anyway, so let's go ahead and without dragging that out too much, let's go ahead and kind of go to the play-by-play. And again, thank you to Bill Adams, not Evans, Adams, Bill Adams, for making this process known and posting the video. And again, I'll post a link in the description. I'll also post a link to my novice speedrun achievement as well, the video for that. But in this one, I basically followed the same process, except I got a lot smoother with my methodology. But like this right here, for some reason, this proved to be problematic. The mouse was just dragging. But the process, again, is absolutely awesome because it doesn't just walk you through the steps you need to do to get the achievement, to go through all the levels. It also walks you through the steps you need to get all of the upgrades. And all the upgrades that you can possibly get within that time frame, which of course, you know, faster belts, faster extractors, faster painting and stacking, all of that helps. So yeah, and it's all done in the proper order. It's really great. Process is really awesome. And yeah, just definitely check that video out. And this one, obviously, judge for yourself. See what you think. I'll take the Steam achievement, and I've been practicing so much. I actually had a Word document made. I made a Word document with all of the steps on it, and I'm like flipping through the pages as I'm trying to do this. And well, I think I told you all that too. But Bill Adams also, he responded to the video that I posted and pointed out some other things that I actually had not thought of, like some settings in your preferences, in your I think it's the advanced settings. And I don't remember the names of the settings, but it basically allows to keep items selected for one, so that way once you click an item down, you don't have to re-click it. You don't have to reselect an item, which is really great because one of the hardest parts of this was like, you know, you click something and then you got to go back, and in order to circumvent that, you had to hold the shift button all the time. Well, it turns out you don't have to do that. Another thing that helped is look at this right here. Do you see how the chunk borders have been exposed? the chunk borders are visible. That was really helpful for laying out the bigger arrays, like the painting arrays, the mixing arrays, and the stacking array that you do at the very end. That was super helpful when you try to do that, so definitely select that as well. And as before, use your belt planners, use all of that, use your pipettes, use your tools, be familiar with your tools in order to do this, and do it enough so that it becomes second nature. You might hear a lawnmower outside, I don't know, this microphone picks up sounds pretty well. And also, you know, pay attention to, like, get used to when certain levels happen, a certain achievement, or not a certain achievement, but you get to a certain level and you realize you don't need a particular shape anymore. Notice that's when I decided to go over and drop the 2 rotators on that one piece below the hub, on that one input. Also, there was a time when I noticed, oh gee whiz, I forgot to bring the stars to the hub, so I ran the belt for that. And things like, I'm trying to think what else, like, yes, I'm laying out all the balancers for this painting array, but I don't finish the painting array in one sitting. Doing that is a waste of time. So I took note of the fact that, okay, well, I use the 3rd array down right away, so I should get that close to complete. But the thing is, I also want to get the, I don't know how far afield I have to go to get the red paint. So let's get it moving. Let's get the circles moving so that as I'm completing the painting array, the paint and the circles are already on the way. So about the time I finish constructing it, the ingredients are already there, as opposed to wasting a whole bunch of time getting the construction complete and then realizing that, okay, well, now I have to sit and wait for these circles to count because the ingredients, it's going to take a while for them to get here because I'm just now getting to the extractors. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it helps to do the extracting portion of it first and then go work on the painter where those ingredients are going to be painted. And that way, you know, they're slowly covering the distance as you're getting the painting array done. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It almost screwed me over with the blueprint bucks because I had to go so far to find the ones I needed. But yeah, as you can see, getting the painting array done, and it just took a lot of practice. I can't really explain these painting arrays, but just watch Bill Evans's video, watch mine. I think I've gotten a whole lot better at constructing it. There are some pitfalls. Like, always make sure you do this part right here with the tunnels, where you make sure that you do the click and drag of all the tunnels with the shift, and then go and do the exits for the tunnels. Because I tried to put all the exits one time, excuse me, and it turned out that it looked like exits, but I was actually placing entrances. And then when I'm tooling along, trying to get the later stages of this achievement done, I realized that certain shapes that I needed to get to the hub so I could advance were not getting there, and it was because I had the tunnels backward. And the reason I had them backward was because I took it upon myself to do all the exits first and then do the clicking and dragging. So there's a method to the madness. Just pay attention to the order that things are done. And again, you can see I don't have the tick counter and the frame rate counter. I hit F4 on a previous attempt before I started recording, and it would show that, but apparently it's not sticky. It didn't stick to the next game. My bad. But anyway, keep in mind when you play, you may want to check that out. Check it for yourself. I mean, maybe that's a way to cheese the game. I don't know. I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, who would want to play with a crappy frame rate? But I guess that crappy frame rate actually worked in my favor in that it caused the game to count slower, if that makes sense. But, you know, it is what it is. That's fine. We can live with it. And like I said, it was like dragging the mouse through molasses. So I guess it all kind of evens out. Okay, so the first thing we needed was red circles, and then I got started. I finished that painting array, but now I'm finishing the painting array number 4, where we do the half squares. So I'm already getting that done. The red circles are slowly making their way to the hub, and again, you know, there's a reason that all these things are done in a certain order. So takes a little bit of time to get these things done. But, you know, practice gets faster and faster. So, pretty interesting. So yeah, that's kind of cool though, because now I've got 100% achievement on the game for all the achievements I've gotten now, which this episode 5, I think it is going to be the final final episode for the achievement hunting. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what I'll do for this game later on though. I don't know what other plans. We'll see what other DLC comes out for it, or what other updates, because he's talking about a puzzle update, whatever that means. So you can bet I will be on that. I mean, I'm liking this game, have a lot of fun playing it, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do Factorio, a playthrough on Factorio. Oh yeah, I go through and I check my time every so often, and you can marry up the timestamps. Now, keep in mind, that 9 minutes, I think, even if you start the game and immediately pause it, it's going to say 1 minute. So if it says 9 minutes, that might mean 8 minutes and some change. Maybe. So, I don't know. Like, as soon as you start it, you could be 3 seconds into the game, and it will tell you that 1 minute has elapsed. So if following that logic, I would say that if it's saying 9 minutes, then it could be 8 minutes and 3 seconds. I don't know, but follow those timestamps and see for yourself. Is there some sort of dilation going on? In other words, is time passing more slowly in the game because the frame rate sucks? I have no idea. So that's the impression I get. I shouldn't say I have no idea. Doing the editing, it's like the timestamps do not line up with the timestamps on the video editing software. You know, so it's weird. I'll take it though. Whatever. Whether I made it or not. So right there, yes, we've just gotten the squares. We've just gotten the half squares with the little dealy bob, the little slicer appendage at the bottom. And once those 2 painting arrays are done, go ahead and start work on the mixing arrays. There are 3 of them, and instead of arrays of 12, they're arrays of 10, 3 arrays. And go ahead and finish them to completion, unless I would say if some other stage pops up, some other achievement or some other level or upgrade that you can get, the ability to get it pops up somehow, but I'm pretty sure that your best bet is to just go ahead and run all 3 of these arrays, these mixing arrays, to completion. Now notice, we don't even have the mixing array unlocked yet. Also, but it will be unlocked by the time we need it. Take a look at when the upgrades come in. You'll see there's a little indication, a little star pops up. Upgrade is ready. Just go ahead and, as the first chance you have to like reach down to the keyboard and hit the F key, do it, and then apply that upgrade. And see, notice I knew I had done 3 arrays. I didn't even waste the time erasing all of the extra balancers that I'd put there. Better to have too many than not enough in this case. So you can just leave them there. They're not in the way. They're not causing any problems. So, and there we go. We got the actual mixers. So they are there in time. And I think you notice the purple circles are already there. So the first thing we're going to want to go for is the blue and red paint. So that's going to be what we do. But like I said, I probably could have gotten away with getting the paint on its way, getting the blue and red paint on its way, but instead I kind of opted to just work on the tunnels and finish out the mixers. And there's another one, and notice I'm just going through doing the tunnels, and did all the tunnels because I've got my like pinky key crushing the control key, or my pinky crushing the control key, not my pinky key. And I didn't want to get out of that hand configuration, click this, and then try to get back into that configuration. So it was a time saver for me to just, you know what, I can wait a few seconds rather than I will definitely botch things up if I try to stop midway and then go back to that, you know, contorted hand configuration. So the upgrade can wait, and that's what happened. So yes, I guess in this case I did go ahead and complete all of the mixing arrays. That control key, hitting that control key is awesome, and that is key to doing this because it holds the belt in that configuration. Even as you click and drag to the side, it will hold it straight up and down, which is very cool. So getting the mixers in place. And to get, if you can't tell, I'm recording this after the fact and dubbing over because there's just no freaking way that I would actually be able to talk through this just like 13 minutes, okay. And looking at the timestamp, 16 minutes has elapsed in the video. So, I mean, what the hell? So we're off by like at least 3 minutes. But yeah, so I mean, even like I said, Bill Adams's video, there's no sound on it. Not even the sound effects of the game. They are a little bit of a distraction. I found them to be. But certainly a pain in the neck to try to do the play-by-play on the video, and there's a time waster right there. Again, part of it, I overshot it, but another is just like the keys are just unresponsive. But yeah, trying to do commentary while you're trying to go through this and your adrenaline's rushing, and you know, it's a pain. Okay, now see, case like that where I added 2 extra balancers, and you're probably, as you do what I did, you evaluate what you're seeing. You try to, you know, you look at you take what you're looking at, and you try to make sense of, okay, well, what is he trying to do here? Why did he put 2 extra balancers? Well, I'm just going to straight up tell you, I accidentally dragged 2 extra, and there was just no point in wasting the time to delete them. The effect is the same. So, yeah, so I think looking at that, what did it say, 14 minutes? So it's probably under 14, and 17 and 20 seconds or something has elapsed. So I don't know. Now, granted, no, see, that wouldn't even make sense. There's a few minutes that are, or a few seconds that are lost when we do a pause in the game. I get that. When you can actually see what the time is, the game is paused. That's what you can do. Use that. As you try to, you know, you go through and you do a bunch of tasks, and you're not quite sure what to do next, and you want to collect your thoughts, hit the pause key. Now, granted, you're not able to look at the board, you're not able to look at the game, but if you know what step you just completed, then you can look at your Word document, flip through it, and say, okay, next step is, oh yeah, you know, let's get some green extractors. Got it. So that's what I did a lot. So if you see the pause key, it's not just me checking the time, it is me pausing the game so I can collect myself. But yeah, so, you know, I don't think the pauses that I did account for the difference in the difference between the video and the time that it gives me credit for. It just doesn't add up. So I really think there's a little bit of time dilation that went on in my favor. But again, I paid for it because the tick rate is just, or not the tick rate, but the frame rate was kind of killing me. It might not be so visible here, but the keys, the mouse was just not responsive. But as soon as I turn OBS off, it's like, oh, it's like smooth as silk now. So crazy. Okay, 19 minutes. 19 minutes editing. The editing software is saying there's 19 minutes that have elapsed, but yet it's saying 15, which probably means under 15. So I have no explanation beyond just tick rate. Purple. Boogity woogity. I don't know. So, okay, so you can see right here, we are working on the purple circles. Purple circles are coming in, and as they're counting away, we are preparing the painting arrays that are going to make the complicated level 11 shape that kind of looks like a mushroom with legs. We're already getting that started, and you notice the ingredients are already on their way. Now, have we... Yes, right, because we've got to get the aquamarine mixer going, and for some reason it's not going. Why wasn't that going? We needed green paint to get the aquamarine paint going. I don't remember why. I thought we got both of those ingredients working. But right now we are bringing painting array 1 and 2 to completion. You notice it's been a while since we touched the painting array, but here we are, knocking it out. Getting that done. Okay, so check it, and this one also, oops, yep, controlled it instead of shifted it. There we go. So now we're going to check our inputs here, and we're looking for green. Okay, that's right. Yeah, this top painter, we needed green paint. So just find a local source, which we did, and again, control again. Dadgummit. So you know, maybe I should have made some utilize the extra buttons on my mouse or something for that. Okay, so that was green paint, and we needed circles. Am I right? Yeah, there we go. These are the circles. These are going to be the mushroom heads on the level 11 shape. So, but you can't see. What level are we on? I'm not sure. Purple circles. I don't remember what level that is. I want to say it's 9, but I'm not sure. So, also, this is a tough one, and even Bill Adams, he kind of lamented that he didn't do quite what he wanted in this regard. But it's hard to do, is finding the teardrop shape. I mean, you're so busy throughout the 17 minutes, and we're at 21 and a half, which means we're probably below 17 minutes, so 5-minute difference. So looking at, yep, there we go, there's the teardrop shape. Fortunately, we found it fairly quick, but like he said, he's like, well, you know, I kind of wish I'd been able to find it earlier in the game so I didn't spend so much time hunting for it. But when would you do that? I don't know. So I don't think he did anything wrong doing it when he did, which is, you know, I think that's one of those things that you hope you can do. And notice I'm putting the rotators there because I have to rotate it 180 degrees to match the configuration I need. But it might be one of those things that either you do it and yay, you make the time, or, you know, just whether or not those things are in close proximity to your start position could make or break the game. You know, maybe that's something you can't even help. Okay, so as soon as we had those identified, okay, we've got the teardrop shapes on the way, and you do have to go a ways to find them. I don't think there's any way around that unless you're super lucky. And also I had to put the rotators, so that wasted a little bit of time. But anyway, hunt them down first, get them on the way, and then start setting up your stacker that's going to stack the white circles. Now, somewhere around here, I realized that, oh, hey, we're not needing the purple circles anymore, so we don't need the purple paint anymore. So we can therefore bring the purple paint into the top of the bottommost mixing array. So the purple paint will feed into the top of the mixing array, and then, even though it came out of a mixing array itself, the second mixing array, the third one just takes the output of the second as an input and mixes it with green paint, and that creates white paint. But I'm thinking we have not yet found a source for green paint. I think at this point I would have wanted to do that, and I missed that step, so I actually waste a little bit of time hunting for a source of green paint. And that's a mistake that kind of makes me think, oh, well, gee whiz, you know, that is a totally on me waste of time. That's not software, that's not, you know, dexterity, that is straight up I missed a step, and it's gonna cost me. Okay, so verifying that the teardrops are on their way. If you have time to do verifications like that, do it, because you may find that you know, dropped a belt. There I go. You know, you missed a belt, and therefore you think something's happening, but it's not, because you just didn't click a belt. Okay, so there I realized that purple paint needs to be input, but I noticed that there's no green paint, so yes, I had to go actually find a source for green paint. So that's what I did there, found something close by. Give yourself plenty of space in the beginning, you know, practice doing this, go through it, watch the video, and you're going to see that there are just certain places where you need to have space. And I realized in some previous failed attempts, a lot of failures. I had dozens of failures. And a lot of them are the result of I didn't give myself enough room because of this step or that. That's really the only thing I can say. So I went ahead and just routed the circles to, basically just routed the white paint to the input of that circle painter. Okay, and now, okay, took away the little appendage for splitting the squares, the blue squares, because I don't need to split the blue teardrops. And now that the white paint is being mixed and painted on the circles, I'm going to go ahead and run the input for the circles now, and now I can put the stackers, which I haven't got yet. So I'm actually waiting on the stackers. I haven't unlocked the stackers yet. Notice the aquamarine stars. Once that hits 800, then they get unlocked. So I'm actually waiting for them. Boom, there they are. So got them. So now, like I said, the way he did this, Bill Adams, now I'm second guessing myself. The way he did this, everything had a time and a place. Okay, now laying this out, the chunk borders really helped, because you want to lay out 48, and each chunk border is, each chunk is 16. So I knew right away that, so right here, I kept fat fingering this because it's just, the mouse, I was trying to move fast, but the mouse wasn't responding. And now see, at this point I realized, oh yeah, I can actually make it. I realized my time was really good. Which in fact, it's like, it's not genuinely, but still. But I was fat fingering it, and the mouse was not responding. I was really taxing the frame rate right here. Like this, I was pumped up, and I know if the frame rate had been better, I could have, the computer would have responded and taken my inputs, but it was like lagging a little bit, and that was just frustrating the heck out of me. It was making things worse. So this is a case where I probably lost, even though the time is being dilated, I probably lost time here because just, I had to take extra, right there, see? It didn't take my click because it was lagging behind. But, you know, and the thing I would tell you is, even if you realize that you're not going to make it, you do an attempt, you realize you're not going to make it, stick it out, go through it, and keep plugging away at your attempt, because it will give you practice on, like, I got super well practiced on the first 3 or 4 minutes, but this part I wasn't very practiced because I didn't stick it out all the time. So I got it to where the first 3 or 4 minutes was just reflex, but when I got to this point, it's like I had to stop and question myself, like, how did this go? Do I have this right? Whereas if I just, every attempt, even if I know I'm going to fail, if I kept going, this all would have been well practiced, and it probably would have taken fewer attempts. I'm just guessing. So this one I had to sort of think about, because I knew that the circles were going to go in the top input on the left-hand side, and the aquamarine squares, or aquamarine stars, were going to go on the bottom. So I had to look and see where these rotators were going to go. Keep in mind too, I say this in my previous video, but notice that see, clicking and dragging, just the mouse is lagging. That is the computer and the frame rate. But notice that the slicers and the stackers are going to be offset. See this? They're actually offset from one another, which is an ingenious idea. I never thought of that. Also, I found this out on one of my previous attempts. I tried to just, if you watch Bill Adams' video, you're going to see, okay, as he connects these things, and then, now right at this point, okay, once, it took me a little bit to realize that that belt was broken, so always go back and check it. The belt with the aquamarine things are broken. But anyway, once I get that straightened out, then you think, oh, okay, great, you've got your 2 inputs, now you just Okay, and you have two outputs, by the way. Make sure you know that. There are two outputs because the volume is going to exceed the volume you need to get to the hub in that amount of time. It's going to exceed a single belt's ability to carry it. However, what I found out is that, okay, you might think, okay, it's producing them, good, I can just let it go. But one thing he does in his video is he actually takes because you notice there's like one of the slicers, I think, has an open end. It's just one end goes into a stacker and the other side doesn't. And then he did this thing where he brought the other output of that stacker, or the slicer, over all the way to the other side. And I think I do it right here, maybe? Yep, right here. Yep. Just bring it all the way over to the other side. And in doing that, I thought it was just, oh, well, you know, he just wants to get an extra output. He just needs that extra little bit of output. But that's not the case. If you don't do that, then the stackers don't get an extra input that they need to make their shapes. So what happens is the stackers start from the outside in. They start shutting down, and the output goes to a trickle. And it was weird. I couldn't diagnose it until finally, I mean, everything stopped. All the inputs were right, the outputs were right, but it turned out that the stackers had shut down. It was the weirdest thing. And the only way to keep them from shutting down is to bring in this from here, the slicer, all the way over to the other side, to the far right. And that way, that guarantees that all slicers have outputs and all stackers have inputs. And if you do that, you won't have that problem. But you've got to do that. Okay, so here we are. We're at 25 minutes, and I think at this point I know I gotten it, because look at the rate these things are coming in. I've got about 200 of them now, and we're going to do a time lapse. But I know that they're coming in at a rate that I will hit the 1,000 before 30 minutes, and there we go. We're at 970 something, and then there we go. Bam! And there's the achievement right there in the lower right. Got it. So, well, there it is, guys. And it says 27 minutes, which means it's under 27. But I think, look at the time. It's at 32 minutes. So, make your own conclusions. But anyway, guys, there we go. It's done. Click exiting the game, and renaming the game, actually. But so I hope this was helpful. Again, thank you to Bill Adams for that information. And if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It lets me know you appreciate this, and it'll set you up for if I get new videos on this game, you'll be notified if you hit the notification bell anyway. So, but anyway, yeah, you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Good luck, and ciao.